Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the video. In today's video I'm going to be running you through how I started my clothing brand, Buzzed, behind you. I'm 19, back when I was 16 I left school, moved out of town, moved to a big city in New Zealand called Auckland. That's where I worked construction for a year and a half. Absolutely hated my life. I'm a mountain biker and so I had no time to go out and ride my bike, and so I hated my life, and so I wanted to create something of my own that could bring me the freedom. So I decided to start Buzz, the clothing brand, back in 2020. Back then it wasn't really anything and I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. You know, along like the last 2 years, I've just been grinding at it and sticking to what I wanted to do by like working for myself. And so in 2021 I quit my job and moved out of town to a smaller town where I am living now. So today we're just going to be running you through how to start a clothing brand, from like the brand name to marketing and creating your products. The first step that you really want to think of is come up with a brand name. Brand name doesn't really matter. You don't want to go out and copy people. You can go out and take inspiration from, just say, Represent Clothing, a UK based brand. Like, that's kind of like an easy, simple name that like means something, if you know what I mean. So just go out and find a name. It doesn't need to mean anything really, you know, like Buzzed doesn't really have anything to do with, you know, mental health. It's just a name that I came up with and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna run with it. And so we ran with it and here we are today. Now the brand has almost 10,000 followers on TikTok, almost 5,000 followers on Instagram, you know, just because I created content around myself and around what the brand stood for. So yeah, come up with a name, and then come up with you really need to have a meaning behind why you're doing what you're doing. You know, for us, I have a passion around mental health. You know, I've personally struggled with mental health, like I can't even remember how long, you know, and it's been a struggle for me. And so the way that I dealt with that was through action sports, whether it was like riding my bike, riding motorbikes, you know, surfing, fucking wakeboarding, you know, like all that kind of stuff, and skydiving, and through that action sport. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to create a brand around that, and I've found my target audience now and people absolutely love what we're doing. So definitely find a name, find a niche where you want to focus towards. You know, you don't need to know your niche when you first start off with, but it's definitely good to have a goal. The second thing is you've got to figure out what you want to do, whether you want to do pre-orders, whether you want to place a bulk order and then start marketing it, and so you have product on hand. What I've done for the last two drops that we did is I did pre-orders. So I ordered samples in and I created content around that, and then I dropped pre-orders, and that seemed to do really well for my brand. So it's completely up to what you want to do, and if you have the funds, bulk order is definitely the better way to go. But if you don't have the funds and you have time on your hand, get samples and create content, especially on TikTok. TikTok is like a lifesaver right now in 2023. So yeah, those are the first few steps. So moving on from there, you want to create something that your audience like can connect with you. You don't want to just be creating content that means nothing to anyone. You know, you want to create content that will attract your target audience. So definitely, yeah, keep those things in mind. From there, you want to go and find a supplier. The best place, the way I found my suppliers, I went on all the Facebook like clothing brand groups, and I posted in there, I'm looking for a supplier, blah blah blah, this is what we want, and I had a million people, not a million, but you know, like a few hundred people reach out to me, and it's like just sifting through those people, because a lot of people scam you in the clothing brand scheme, this clothing brand scene, so definitely be careful. But yeah, that's how I did it. You can also go on Alibaba and just kind of like upload what you want, and it'll send your order request to like a bunch of suppliers, and then they'll get in touch with you. The only thing with Alibaba, a lot of those guys on there, they don't speak very good English, so you need to work around that. And then from there, drop like a tech pack and send that to your manufacturer, and make sure you get samples before you place a bulk order. Please get samples, because I've heard of horror stories of people just place bulk orders and the product comes and it's completely wrong. They've just spent $10,000 on a bulk order. So yeah, definitely be careful when it comes to that stuff. That's kind of the basics. That's the first little things. brand name, like a meaning behind what you're doing, suppliers, like designs, samples, and then marketing. TikTok is like I said before, is amazing for marketing. So get on there, just create content, find content that works for your brand. Like me myself, I've been creating content for the clothing brand for the last year and a half. And I still really don't know what works 100%, you know. Some weeks certain content works, some weeks other content works. And it's just about mixing and matching and changing to the way the algorithm works, you know. So I hope this video was informative. Please drop any comments down below if you need any help. Flick me a message on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, or the clothing brand, which is Buzz Riders. But yeah, appreciate you all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Legends.